Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of Race Week. Today I'm going to reveal my F1 2023 predictions for both what the driver lineup will look like and also the calendar as well. So yes, if you've got any predictions, if you're on the, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Make sure you get subscribed for plenty more episodes of Race Week and get my views on real life F1. But of course, we first of all have to take a look at last year's depressing predictions, the ones that we got majorly wrong. And now I did two predictions videos for F1 2022. Mercedes, Hamilton and Russell, Ocon. I mean, it could be Russell and Ocon if Hamilton doesn't know. I put Russell potentially at Red Bull. That's an epic fail. As well, Alpha Tauri I thought Gasly would probably move to Alpine and would be out the door, but who knew that? I mean, I did predict correctly Albon would be returning to F1, just not with Alpha Tauri. Williams wrong as well. They've got more money now. Alfa Romeo completely wrong on that as well. So I did, however, improve the second time around, the second step of predictions. Mercedes, Hamilton, Russell got that correct as long as Hamilton doesn't retire. Red Bull, Verstappen and Perez, Ferrari, Leclerc and Sainz, and Norris and Ricciardo. Alpine, Alonso, yeah, pretty much this as we expected really. Williams was wrong. Latifi and De Vries. That was back. I think that video was released when De Vries was linked with a move, as he was thought that he's going to be the stepping stone for Frederick Vesti. I should point out Vesti. I'll come back to Vesti actually when we get to Williams, because he is an interested party in that team. He could be a potential future driver. Vesti is competing in this year's Formula 2, so if he has a good season, he could be a good idea for Williams, but we'll see. And then I put Schwartzman in for Alfa Romeo. Robert Schwartzman seems to have missed his chance to get promoted from F2 as well. So I'll come back to him as well. We're going to start with the reigning drivers' champions, Red Bull. And for 2023, do I see them changing their lineup? Absolutely not. Why would they want to change their driver lineup when it's worked so good for them so far? Checo Perez has had... he's won a race. He's probably going to get better with the new regulations as well as he gets used to the Red Bull, so I think they'll be unchanged. Mercedes, however, is a little bit different. Russell, despite the fact of recent reports that say that Mercedes only signed Russell after Bottas turned them down for another contract extension, I think he's now that Bottas has departed for Alfa Romeo, I think he's now the future of the team. However, alongside him, I've put Pierre Gasly in the Mercedes. I think Gasly's contract might be up as well, or be something. It's a little bit sketchy because it's all based on the words of Helmut Marko. As well, but I think Lewis Hamilton will retire. If he doesn't retire yet, I think he'll retire at the end of this year's season, as well as he's become disillusioned with F1. Ferrari, no reason whatsoever to change their lineup. In actual fact, Sainz and Leclerc is probably going to be their lineup for many years to come. Sainz is my age; he's slightly younger than I am. Leclerc is obviously got on that super long contract, and they brought in Santander back to the team. Presumably that's the Sainz link. There's a little bit of linking with Sainz as well. So it's a strong lineup for the team. They're not going to be looking to change that in a hurry as they build back to trying to challenge the top championship. McLaren. Now you could argue that Daniel Ricciardo might have been out the door. Norris, of course, is the future of the team. He had a fantastic 2021 season. Obviously bottled it a few times. Imola qualifying, Belgium qualifying, and also in Russia in the race. But he had a good season. Ricciardo, Who knows where he's going to be with the new regulations? Will he have a good season? If he has a good season in 2022, then there's no reason why. Otherwise, McLaren might start to look elsewhere, depending on where the car is. Alpine. Now, you could argue Ocon could be a shoe-in, but the problem for Alpine is I don't think they're going to let Ocon. He's on that long contract for 2023 and 2024. He's got that 3-year deal that he signed throughout mid 2021. So I don't think he's going to be going there. In actual fact, I think he'll be stepping up to the team leader role. I mean, by the time we get to this 2023, it'll be his 4th season with Alpine. So he'll be the team leader, and alongside him will be Oscar Piastri. I think Alonso, it's going to be his last season, I think. I don't think Alpine will make the jump that he wants them to be, challenging for the World Championship. I think Alonso will become disillusioned by that, I think, and then Fernando will make the decision to retire for the 2nd time in Formula 1 and finally see him go. AlphaTauri. Now, hear me out on this. I think Albon will step into AlphaTauri to replace Gasly. Otherwise, why else are they bringing him back to Formula 1? There's clearly a reason why Albon is being brought back to Williams. Now, whether or not, I don't know if there's some commercial agreement or whether it's just Williams choosing him, but nevertheless, Albon's been brought back. Presumably, it's because they want him as that team leader role for the future at AlphaTauri, and the team leader to inspire Dennis Hauger. Now, Dennis Hauger is the Formula 3 champion, like Oscar Piastri was in 2020. He's in Formula 2 this year, so if he has a good season, there's no reason why not. I think Tsunoda might make too many mistakes still. He's still mistake prone, even though he had a good finish to the season, so I think they'll choose Hauger over Tsunoda. We know how ruthless Red Bull can be. Aston Martin, probably unchanged. Stroll didn't have a great time throughout 2021, didn't get any podiums. Vettel got 1, should have been 2. But they're building that, they've got that new HQ. It's a long-term project for the team. They probably need to start looking at a long-term option. It's clear that Stroll will not be going anywhere while his dad owns the team. But Daddy Stroll needs to make his mind up once Vettel decides to retire, because I don't see Vettel moving from Aston Martin. This will be a lot, but Vettel's not getting any younger. It will be at some point they need to think about it. Obviously, Mick Schumacher's been linked with the role, but that depends what goes on with Ferrari, and that's probably where Schumacher could potentially end up, at one of his dad's old teams, no less. Williams is a bit of an interesting one. I still think Latifi will be there. I know a lot of people think that Latifi probably will be out, owing to the fact that Dorilton Capital have got a lot more potential money as well, and also based on somebody else I'm going to mention in a moment. But I think Latifi will stay purely because they want that extra money to be able to build the car up now with the new regulations. But replacing Albon at the team, I think will be potentially Logan Sargent. If Sargent's already done some F2 races, so he's used to the car already, if he has a good F2 season this year, because he's in there again, then I think that he's in a great shout for a Formula 1 seat in 2023. So, yes. Alfa Romeo. Now, this is a team that, we don't know what's going to happen with them. There's a lot of ifs and buts over the future of the sponsorship of that team with Alfa Romeo. Now, the lineup, I'm going to say, doesn't have a lot of sponsorship, but it's a team that potentially could attract sponsors if it can. But Bottas, of course, is there. He's there for the long term on his multi-year deal, obviously deciding he doesn't want to sign these 1-year contract extension with Mercedes anymore, so he says. And I think alongside him will be Théo Pourchaire. Pourchaire probably would have been in this year's car had he not had his parents not banned him from racing in Formula One until he finished school. So, he's only 18. He'll probably benefit from another year in Formula 2 anyway. If he's up there with the championship, then he's got a great shout of actually getting a promotion to Alfa Romeo. Just a question. There's obviously questions about the funding for that team, but we'll have to wait and see if they can get the sponsors they need as well. And obviously, this leaves Haas, who are in a desperate situation. Gene Haas will not be putting any more money in there. Will it be called Haas? I don't know. I mean, Daddy Mazituat could take over any day. I think Mazituat will be there for the foreseeable future, unfortunately, as Haas failed to take the appropriate steps that they should have done and fired him for his inappropriate behaviour. I will say this though, I mean, he's made so many mistakes, and yet he's still there. So I think that this team is not going to be having great. I think they say they've upgraded the car for 2022. I mean, the bit of cardboard that they had is now probably a potting shed. So, and they're still probably going to be at the back, and they're gonna be desperate for money. So I think Guan Yu Zhou will replace Schumacher. I think that there might be an engine change as well at Haas. I think they might switch to Renault. Zhou is an Alpine Junior driver, so they could use. Well, he was an Alpine Junior driver, I should say. They could reutilise that link as well. But together they'll have a lot of money, and that if they want to reinvest in the car, then that's the direction they're going to have to take, unfortunately, with two pay drivers. Whether or not they'll be any good, we'll have to wait and see as well. Schumacher, I think, will miss out and probably be Ferrari test driver. Now to the calendar. I'm not going to review my 2022 predictions because they were horrifically wrong, basically, for the calendar. But basically, I think that it's no secret that Liberty Media have been fantasising about a 25 race calendar since they bought FOM from Bernie Eccleston. I still think we're going to have an opening two-headed round, Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, followed by China and Australia. Those two are pretty near each other, so again, this is a sustainability drive, which is why part of this has been moved about. And also there's more space at the opening part of the calendar for these opening 6 races, really. A 6-race start to the season, I think, with Miami and the rumoured close to be Las Vegas Grand Prix. Yes, apparently there are rumours that Las Vegas is pretty much there or thereabouts to agree to deal with F1 to host a race, being the third F1 race in the United States. Obviously there's talks already ongoing about a second Chinese race, but that has yet to turn out. Then we'll start the European season probably slightly later than normal, but there'll probably be a little bit of a rejig there. But yes, I think Imola, Spain and Monaco will be the precursor. I think, Imola, they were looking, it's either that, they said either that or France, and I think they'll pick Imola. Imola has provided the better race of the two, although Paul Ricard did actually provide an okay race, although I didn't see it live. It was the only race I missed last season. Now you'll notice Russia's been moved up, and that's because, of course, we've got a new venue for 2023 in the form of Igora Drive in St. Petersburg. So obviously it's a different climate to Sochi down in the south, St. Petersburg up in the north. They don't have much sunshine up there in St. Petersburg, so I think they'll probably bring in it as an earlier round, maybe late May, early June as well. Then we'll go to Canada as well. Unfortunately, there's no real race that can link up with Canada, like neither northern US races, all 3 races linked with the US. Not with Grand Prix in the US all southern, so it's a shame you can't have like Montreal and Indianapolis, for example, back to back. But I've stuck it there. Britain as well, same place, and then Austria and Hungary following suit. No room for Paul Ricard on that bit, Paul Ricard will miss out. Then they'd have the season break. I don't know if it'll be quite as long. Might be a week shorter to fit the calendar in. And then we'll go. They'll probably have the triple head of Belgium, Netherlands, and Italy. Then Azerbaijan. I think they'll move that later. Swap it with Russia as well. Then Singapore, Japan as usual, USA, Mexico, Brazil. And then they'll have Qatar and Abu Dhabi to finish the season. As well. So that's what I think my F1 2023 predictions. Let me know what you think to those in the comments below. If you are new around here though, then please do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 gaming content. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and bye.